Okay, what's up, guys? It's Keys in here, and we are back with
Yes,
another
sir. Yes,
video.
sir. Yes,
So,
sir. Yes,
where do I
yes,
begin? Like,
sir.
thank you so much for the support on the vlog. That is like, it is so insane. I would never have expected that. I just want to say thank you to everyone that commented, liked, even if you just watched it, even if you just saw it on your recommendation. Like, thank you for just looking at it. Um, yeah. So today we're going to be reacting to scary stories, but animated scary stories. So it's gonna be scary. It's kind of like it's close to night. You can see actually in the background. It's like super dark right now. Well, we're gonna get into it. Let's go. Let's get scared. Or let's try not to get scared. Let's go. Okay. Scary water story.
21-year-old Samantha Josephson grew up in Robbinsville, New Jersey on February 8, 2019. Samantha went out drinking with friends at the Bird Dog Bar in downtown Columbia. At around 2 a.m., they decided to call it a night, and like so many of us have done before, Samantha pulled out her phone and ordered an Uber.
That is
Just 9 minutes
like
later,
that is
surveillance
demon
footage from
time
the
for
Bird
Uber
Dog
drivers.
shows a black Impala
That
pulling
is
up
demon
outside.
time for Uber drivers.
Samantha steps outside, enters the vehicle, and greets her driver. The man at the wheel was named Nathaniel Rowland,
That's not a
and
bad name.
although he didn't say anything as Samantha climbed into his car, he hadn't actually been expecting a passenger. You see, the car that Samantha had climbed into wasn't her Uber. It was just a similar-looking vehicle she'd drunkenly mistaken for her ride.
What?
You'd expect Rowland to ultimately tell her to get out of the car, but he didn't. He simply engaged the locks, trapping Samantha inside, then drove off.
This guy.
It's not clear whether or not Samantha realized her
Wait, let me
mistake
pause
before
you.
Rowland.
Guys, seriously. Always look at the serial number, everything of a Uber driver. Check the number plate, like anything. Just always check it out. I remember I almost climbed into an Uber, which wasn't even my Uber, and I was like,
You're a victim. Mm.
and I was so scared. I was like, what did I just do? So, watch out, watch out. Okay, let's go on.
Stopped the vehicle, but at some point, Rowland parked up his Impala, pulled out a knife, and inflicted a sustained and savage attack upon the terrified Samantha.
Oh
Using
my
a
days.
bizarre-looking two-bladed knife, Rowland proceeded to stab Samantha 120 times. She attempted to shield herself, but she was
120
trapped,
times.
and Rowland was armed. As well as several horrific defensive wounds, Rowland also stabbed Josephson in the head with so much force that the knife went through her skull to her brain. Samantha Josephson made an honest and
Sick.
simple mistake,
This is
and
sick.
Nathaniel Rowland
Don't do that.
made her pay
Don't do it.
with her
Don't.
life.
Just don't. Yeah, this one is. This is the last one. Horror story animated. Don't stop for gas at night.
Back in the
Stopping for
summer of
gas at night is
2016, I
already
got
a
my first
dodge.
job at 18 years old. I was excited about the work, but not about the commute. First things my mother told me was to keep an eye on my gas tank, and if I ever needed more, I should leave early and stop on the way, but never on my way back. I
That
understood her
facts.
concern. I
Listen to
was a
your
petite
mother.
18-year-old female, and I looked even younger. But being who I was, I half forgot, half ignored that advice. And one night
But
on my way home, I realized I legitimately didn't have enough gas in the tank to get me to my exit. I pulled into the first station I could find, not caring about the brand or the cost of the gas. I decided to make it as quick as possible, and only put in about $10 worth, just to get myself out of there. I swiped my card and began pumping gas, and once it got to the $10 mark, I shut it off and printed out my receipt. Thinking the worst was behind me, I was about to climb back into
but
my car and book it home, when a voice came from the tiny intercom above the pump. "Ma'am, there was a problem with your credit card payment." I paused and
what?
glanced at the guy at the counter and felt a chill spiral down my neck. He was one of those
The
tall,
show
gaunt,
spiraled down my
sketchy
neck.
looking clerks, and was staring right out the window at me, beckoning me to come inside. I stepped back towards the gas pump and pressed the button on the intercom. What's wrong with my card? I have a receipt. It went through just fine. I didn't try to hide the annoyance in my voice. I didn't like the look of this guy, or the way he sounded. I just need you to come inside, ma'am. Your receipt is incorrect. I'm going to
Bro,
need to run your
don't
card
go.
here," he replied, a
Go,
bit too
please
quickly.
don't go.
I looked back at the guy through the window in frustration.
But I
There
know
was
so
no way I
many.
was going in there, where I would
That
be
is how
alone
they
with
lure
him.
you in.
He was
That's how
staring
you.
at me
That's how they
wide-eyed,
lure you in.
like some kind of creep. I stood my
Easy,
ground,
creep.
pulled out my phone, and checked my credit card app. I held it up stupidly as if he could see it from there, and I pressed the intercom button again. It went through. I see it on my statement. I'm not coming in. Ma'am, if you attempt to leave, I'll call the police. I have your tag number. Please come inside. I then shouted at him from across the parking lot instead of pressing the intercom. Over $10 of gas, you're gonna call the cops? Fuck you. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I walked a few steps around my car and gave him the finger. I was just
For
about
real?
to walk back around my car and climb into the driver's seat when I paused. He was mouthing something to me through the window. I would have ignored it, but he suddenly looked much more desperate than creepy. He kept beckoning me forward and calling out something that I couldn't hear through the window. I must have made a weird
Oh
look,
hell no.
because 5 seconds
Fuck
later
no.
he slammed a piece of paper on the window where he had hastily written, "Guy in your car."
Snap. Oh, what the hell, man? What the hell? What the hell? What the
I
hell?
booked it inside the station, and once I was there, the clerk locked the door and told me to get down. He had his eyes on my car and had a gun in his hand. I squatted down behind the counter and watched the security cameras as a tall guy in sweatpants and a windbreaker nudged my back door open, slid out quickly, and jogged away into the night. I started freaking out. Turns out the clerk had noticed the guy hanging around the side of the building on the monitors. And as soon as I pulled in, he made a beeline for my car. He crouched down and opened the door, and slid himself inside as I was swiping my card, being
Bro.
careful not to close the door all the way behind him, so that I wouldn't hear
Lock your
anything.
doors.
The clerk had noticed all of this on the camera, and immediately called the cops, who arrived a few minutes later. They searched the area and my car, but were not able to locate the guy, or anything that would lead back to him. The gas station clerk probably saved my life, because who knows what would have happened if I had driven off with that stranger
You
in the
thought
back
he was
seat.
the enemy. You
I
was
think
trying
the
to
lesson
save
here
him.
is obvious. It's not enough to be cautious. You have to stay alert as well. Be suspicious,
Guys.
but not stupid. And always listen to your mom.
Yes. Always listen to your mothers. Your parents are wise. Like, always listen to your parents. That is crazy. You have to. Oh, that is. It's so weird because you don't know who to trust. You don't know if you should trust a guy because he's giving you misinformation. But then he also could have been trying to help you out, like how that was happening. That to me, that is insane. If you enjoyed the video, smash a like and hit the subscribe button if you are new and you watch it for the first time. Please subscribe.